He almost didn't go. The email invitation had arrived at 11:47 p.m. No subject line. Just an address and a time, 9 a.m. Downtown. Conference room 14B. He didn't remember applying. He searched his inbox. Nothing. No confirmation, no previous conversation. But the company name was real. A large firm. Respectable. The kind of place people compete to get into. Curiosity 1. At 8:58 a.m., he stood in front of the building. Glass exterior. Polished floors. Security desk in the lobby. "I'm here for an interview," he told the receptionist. She checked her screen. Name. He gave it. Her expression didn't change. "You're expected." That word stuck with him. Expected. He hadn't told anyone he was coming. An elevator took him to the 14th floor. The doors opened to an empty hallway. No employees. No noise. Just one door at the end labeled 14B. He knocked. "Come in." The room was large but bare. One table. Two chairs. A man sitting on the opposite side. No laptop. No folder. No papers. "Have a seat," the man said calmly. He did. There was no handshake. No small talk. The man folded his hands. "Tell me about the version of yourself you're hiding." He blinked. "Excuse me." The man didn't smile. "You've prepared answers for strengths. Weaknesses. Leadership examples. I'm not interested in those. I'm interested in what you avoid." Silence filled the room. "This isn't how interviews work," he said. "Correct," the man replied. "This isn't a job interview." His chest tightened slightly. "Then what is it?" The man leaned back. "It's an evaluation." "Of what?" "Potential." He stood up instinctively. "I think there's been a mistake." "There hasn't." The man slid a small mirror across the table. "Look." He stared at his reflection. Tired eyes. Slight stubble. The suit he almost didn't wear. "I don't understand." "You asked for change," the man said calmly. "You said you were ready. But you haven't acted." He felt something shift. "I never said that to anyone." The man tilted his head slightly. "You say it to yourself every night." The room felt smaller. "I don't know who you are." "That's not the question." The man stood. "The question is, do you keep waiting for permission, or do you finally move?" The fluorescent lights flickered once. He blinked. And suddenly, he was standing alone. In a small empty office space. Dust on the floor. No furniture. No table. No chair. Just sunlight coming through tall windows. His phone buzzed. One notification. Calendar reminder. Interview, 9 a.m. Location, 14B. He looked around. The door behind him had no sign. The hallway outside was under renovation. Plastic sheets. Construction tools. No company logo. No receptionist downstairs. He checked the building directory in the lobby. There was no 14th floor. He stepped outside into the street, heart racing. Was it a dream? Stress? A hallucination? His phone buzzed again. A new notification. Reschedule. He stared at it. There was only one button. Accept. He hesitated. Then pressed it. The screen went black. And for the first time in months, he knew exactly what he needed to do next. The screen stayed black for a full 10 seconds. Then his reflection appeared. Not through the camera. Just a dark surface reflecting his face. Below it, white text faded in slowly. Start. No instructions. No options. He waited for something else to appear. Nothing did. His heart was still racing, but a different feeling crept in now. Not fear. Recognition. He opened his calendar again. The reminder had disappeared. No event. No address. No company name. He checked his call history. No unknown number. No email invitation. Nothing to prove it ever happened. He walked a few blocks without thinking. Stopped at a crosswalk. Watched people rush past him with coffee cups and phones in hand. Everyone looked certain about where they were going. He wasn't. But he suddenly understood something uncomfortable. He had been waiting. Waiting for the perfect offer. Waiting for the right time. Waiting for someone to tell him he was ready. He thought about the question again. Do you keep waiting for permission, or do you finally move? That afternoon, instead of going home, he walked into a small office he had passed dozens of times before. A startup. Hiring sign in the window. He had always told himself he wasn't qualified enough yet. This time he didn't rehearse an answer. He didn't polish his resume again. He simply stepped inside. I'd like to talk to someone about the role, he said. No dramatic music. No mysterious interviewer. Just a normal conversation with a real person behind a desk. But something was different. He wasn't presenting a safe version of himself anymore. He spoke honestly about what he didn't know. About what he wanted to build. About how tired he was of pretending stability was the same as fulfillment. For the first time, the words didn't feel scripted. They felt real. When he left the building, nothing supernatural happened. No flickering lights. No disappearing floors. But his phone vibrated once. He glanced at the screen. A simple notification. Evaluation complete. Then it vanished. He never returned to that original building. He couldn't find it again anyway. The address didn't exist on any map. But sometimes he wonders. Was it stress? Was it imagination? Or was it the moment he finally stopped interviewing for someone else's expectations? And started choosing his own? Because sometimes the scariest room you walk into isn't a job interview. It's the one where you're forced to meet yourself.